Thank you for choosing heating equipment from Aerolyn. We're glad the product meets standard. It's our goal to make a happy purchase. Please buy an experience watching so we're looking forward to it again. Right, that's nice. I can immediately say that when I see these things here, you know, you get a nice message, you feel the quality of the products. If I compare this to like a cheaper model, you know, that you can scoop up for like €100, this feels much more solid. I mean, when I lift the things, the pump feels quality. Look at the cable, flat cable, which is nice. Same with the muffler here. I mean, check it out. This one also is bigger dimension than the cheaper ones, more or less 9 centimeters. That means that this one is also bigger, 11.5, 12 centimeter. So what you're looking at here is the Aerolyn 4000. They also have a 2000, but in my case, I went with the bigger one here. Another thing that you may notice here is that it does not come with any diesel tank. It comes like this. So the purpose is to connect it to the diesel tank of the van or the vehicle in which you install it. And that is what I'm going to do today. Let's go. So you come out to your vehicle, and in my case, I have a Sprinter. I'm going to have it here under the passenger seat. For those of you who have been following me, you know that I had a heater here before. That's why I have some holes here going on. The red line here, I drawed because that is some kind of safety line where I can drill holes to not drill or run into things under here on the underside, okay? The blue numbers here, 42 centimeter is the space that you have here, 39 centimeter is from here to here, and the 50 centimeter is from this corner to this corner. So if I then take this beauty, here's some information by the way. So it's 5 kilos, 376 by 140 by 150. So this beauty will fit in here. If I just place it like this, and then I can see, you know, the exhaust and the air intake. It fits already the holes that I have there, but it's a little bit close there. So what I will need to do is that I will need to drill a little bit bigger holes in the bottom so I can move this just a few centimeters, because I will need the turn there for the hose to come into the van. If you're using a hole saw, okay, nice, then you do the hole from scratch. You have a hole wall, you choose the right dimension, and you just do one hole. In my case, I will need to go with the jigsaw to just, so to say, open up, extend the hole a little bit. Same in the bottom there. So on this side it looks like this. So this one can fit right through. And yes, it is a little bit of open space here and there, but I'm going to fix that in a very proper way. And then you want to turn to your table where you have placed everything that you're going to install. Under the heater itself, you want to mount this plate to be able to attach the heater in the floor or wherever you're going to have it. I have written here some dimensions of the plate so you are sure that it will fit. So 18.4 centimeter wide, 19.9 long maybe, and 26.2 from this corner to this corner. You mount it under the heater with these 4 nuts. You will need to remove this rubber, and then the plate will fit here only in one way, like this. And then if you look closely, right there, you can see there's an arrow out, and to the left there's an arrow in. This means that to the left you should attach this, the black one, which is the air coming into the heater. And on the other side you attach this one, which is for the exhaust. And then you use these clamps that comes with the heater. I mean, look at this, it's really good quality. It's not cheap at all. The space that you have to play with here is more or less 2.4 centimeters. So make sure that you don't put the clamp higher up than that. This hose comes with the heater for the air in. This is the muffler that comes with the heater. But in my case, I will need to extend it more or less 70 centimeters. And I will explain why in just a moment. The third one there is for the fuel in. So what you do is that you take this white and you attach the rubber here on the very end, and then you attach it here with the clamp, exactly in the same way like that. That will give you the fuel in. And then you take the white hose and pull it into the black one here that also comes in the package, which is fantastic, because this is a thing that not a lot of people think about, but it's awesome. It keeps it like protected from heat and damage and stuff. So this is awesome. In my case, I'm not going to use this because I already have the fuel line pulled from the older heater. So I'm going to attach that one there. And then it should come down something like this if you also mount it under the passenger seat. So it's pretty close to the beam here, the exhaust and the air intake. So then you understand why I draw the red line inside the box. If you want to seal up the hole there a little bit more, if it does not come very close to the floor, so to say, you can use something like this, for example, exhaust system sealant. It's a kind of pasta, and then you just squeeze it in. I also attached the hose there now, where the heat is going to come out, because it was very, very tight here, so I needed to clamp it on there and then fit this in exactly where I want it to be. So 2 screws there and 2 screws there. So now when the heater is attached in the floor, I can attach the hose here for the fuel. There's the cable for the camera, here is the air, and there is the fuel. Everything tied up there, and then I attached it there. It's leaning a little bit up now, so that's good. So then the water, when I'm driving and shit, is not coming into the air intake. The developer of this have really thought about it, because instead of drilling a hole in the floor or wherever you need, that is like 1-2 centimeter to fit this in, you only need to drill a hole that is like as big as the black plastic cable hose here, and then you click it in there yourself. So I come with this one in here, right? And then it's going to be clicked in there. Oh, by the way, the cable here is 5 meters long, so it's like more than enough. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Just need to pull it up a little bit like this, so you can reach there. So I pulled it down like a meter or something. I will not need that much, but it's more easy to work with at the moment. So here you can see the old filter, and there you can see the old pump. And check this out. Here you can really see, so the old pump is here. I also bought this, the cover, to like cover the pump. This will not fit on this one, so I will need to use this one. But you see, here I needed to cut the cables because I could not feed it through the floor, which I will not need to do now because it came down like very, very smooth. And also the filter, check it out. I mean, this is exactly what I said. This feels quality, it looks quality compared to this. So here's another detail that I found. Check this out. You see the old pump here is completely round here. But the new one, check this out. You see it's flat there and there, which means you can use a wrench to hold it if you need to adjust the rubber, because it's very hard to do by just holding this small piece here with your hand. That's a really nice detail. On the heater itself you have this one, and then you have the hose that is coming here, and it fits only in one way like this. And then if you look closely on this one, you can see number 1 is the purple and number 2 is the yellow. Then you see there on the very side there it says 2, and on the other side obviously a number 1. So then you should put it in like this, the yellow on number 2 and the purple on number 1, like this. And then you click it onto the pump like that and mount it. I found a hole there in the beam in which I attached the pump, and then the hose comes here from the filter that sits up in there. and it's connected to this splitter here. So this goes to the heater that I install now, and this one goes to the heater that came with the van, huh? And the hose on this side goes into the tank. Make sure that you zip tie everything up so it does not fall down or is bouncing around when you are driving. In my case, I have the diesel coming from the tank, which is like 70 liters something. If you don't have the opportunity to take diesel out from the tank while the van is off, then you can also use this one that comes with the heater. So what you do is that you drill a hole, you sink this down, you screw it there, and then you attach this one and connect your hose way to the filter and pump. If you're going to play by the book here, you should mount the pump between 15 and 35 degrees. In my case, I just put it in the same degrees as the other one. I think this will work just fine. So I changed my mind here a bit, because the cable was so long. I mean, I have cut off like 3 meters, and also the connector there, because I don't really need it. So I just sealed it up here with a shorter cable. So here is like 20-30 centimeter now, and then it goes straight down to the pump. And then I take this tape here, especially here under the gray water tank, because the tank is plastic. And then it continues all the way to there. When you install a heater, the exhaust pipe can reach, depending on the model, it can reach up to 200-250 degrees. If you tape it like this, you reduce the heat with more or less 50%. So this will reach up to around maybe 100 degrees. And then on the very end there, where the muffler is, let's say that you come up to somewhere between 40 and 60 degrees. So now it sits pretty good here. You know, I had it in here earlier, but this is as stealth as the old one. Because if I look from the side here, when I'm walking by, it looks like this. I really need to come down to, let's say, here somewhere before you see it, huh? And I mean, who is down here? And then I need to reach all the way really down to here before I even see the exhaust there coming out. So here's the old hole that I already made, right? And that hole is, I would say, more or less 7 centimeters. And that is definitely not enough for this. What you can do if you have a hole saw, which I don't at the moment, you can take your 70 mil hole saw and then you connect that one in the 100 mil hole saw. So it stays in this hole, but it drills a new one. So I cut a piece off here, like 15 centimeters, and then it goes from there straight into here now. Put some Tech 7, it's going to dry, and also on this side. The wood here is 44, so this is more or less 40. And the connector here is like 12 mil something by the other way here, more or less 15 mil with the clip there. So let's say that I will need a hole that is like 15 by 15. I can either go by drill, but I think I'm just going to carve a hole with my knife here. See? Sits pretty good here. I'm going to cover up with some plants around it. This is their latest controller, which can operate in temperatures down to minus 40 degrees, which is amazing. The dimensions of it is 84 by 44 millimeter. So that's the space you will need when you install it. So while this is drying, I'm going to deal with this one. So I think I'm going to carry it off here and just connect it to the heater, because I don't really need this fuse and an extra 50 centimeter of cable. The fuse that it comes with is 20 amp, which I also have in my fuse block. So this nest of cable here also comes with a heater, and it's also around 5 meters long. This one does not need to be this long, so I will definitely carry off. Black and red coming in from my fuse block, so I will just need to connect it to these two as short as possible. Like this, very professional. And then it's clicked in there. And then I have this one to deal with. The 5 meter that is going to go to the control unit. And when it comes to this one, it contains a lot of cables, so I'm not going to shorten this one. I'm just going to pull it in there as far as I need, and then I'm just going to make a nest here. Nice and clean. It comes there, sits on the wall, and then up there, very nice. And then it comes here, the temperature meter. So I was thinking about here somewhere, like drill a hole in the wood and just point it out there. And there it comes. Good. Really nice. Now when I filled in there with the plants, it has power, so it's in a standby mode. The reason why I put this on the outside here is because I want to be able to turn this. I could have cut it off like here and just put it further in, but then I would have had it in like a fixed position, and I don't want that, because sometimes maybe you want the heat to come up, sometimes down. So, Monday 12 o'clock. Not correct, but I just started up here. Let's see how it works. I have no idea actually. So I'll press this one. Alright. On. That's a good sign. Let's see, maybe it takes a few seconds. Right, here we go. Now it comes. So let's put this in here. I mean, it's pretty quiet. Okay, take into account there is a little bit windy outside today, but still, listen here. And if I close the seat and the door, I mean, most of the sound comes from here, from the exhaust and the muffler. I can also hear the pump. You can barely hear it, huh? Let's crawl over to the other side. I mean, the pump is definitely more quiet than the muffler that is over there. Of course, some sound coming out here, but overall I don't hear the pump. I don't hear the muffler inside the van here. And let's see. Right. Place it here, right under. So 23 degrees and more or less 3.5 minutes now. Look at the ice, just. I'm going to take it down to 1. So a little bit over 6 minutes. And all the ice is more or less gone. It definitely does a good job here. Fantastic. I like the way it sounds and works, this brushless masterpiece. So if I go in on the Victron app here, 2.3, and this is on the lowest mode now. It's getting super warm in here. I'm like sweating already. You can also install the app Smart Life to run it if you want to control the unit here in your phone. But you can also go in here on the control unit itself. Just hold the corner there. You have time, alarm clock, settings, fast heat, I assume, Wi-Fi, time. Or you can just hold the wheel and then you come to the voltage and the errors. So if you click the voltage there, you can see this is the voltage of the battery at the moment. And then to switch it off, you just hold the button here up in the corner. And then it switches to off. And it takes a few minutes and then it shuts down to a standby mode. And there it came. Nice. I like that it takes its time to like cool itself down before it shuts off and goes into a standby mode. So another thing that is really nice with this heater is that the control unit itself, it has like an built-in like barometer or something like that. So if you are very high up in the mountains, it controls and it changes the mix of air and fuel, which is not the case in the cheaper models of heaters. So that makes it possible for you to run the heater wherever you are. So to work with this heater and install it is like very nice. I mean, the components are quality, the installation process is just easy. You know, it's way more easy than when you work with like cheaper stuff. Also the control unit, it feels nice to like touch and work with that. So a really big thank you to HLN that sent me this Aerolyn 4000 so I could install it and show it to you here in the video. Link in the description. Thanks for watching.